right, pleased to welcome in Bruce Gradkowski, NFL analyst for Pro Football Focus, joining us here on the Brian Noe Show. I have to say, before we even start this thing, Bruce, your background, is that a green screen or is that real? What's going on? That's beautiful.
That's real, man. Look.
Wow.
That's real stuff right there. I had to try to make it look legit, on coming on your show. I did it specifically for you.
Yeah, I like that. I like that you went all out just for this show, For the radio audience, and God bless all you great people, it's just the X's and O's of a play, but it looks like there's a brick wall, and it looks like there's a field there. That is nice. You have a printer in the background. What's going on over there to the left?
Yeah, I might have to, get rid of the printer, do something different there, but trying to clean it up a little bit, trying to look professional.
Oh, it looks good. Looks absolutely great to me.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so let me get your thoughts on the Seahawks. They needed pass rush help. They make a trade for Carlos Dunlap. Do you think that gives them a legitimate shot in the arm?
Man, I'll tell you what. I played with Carlos Dunlap. I was with him in Cincinnati, and, he's a good dude. He goes through these periods. I think Marvin Lewis always handled him really good in Cincinnati to try to get the best out of him. And I'm telling you what, Pete Carroll has a great culture, and I think this will revitalize Carlos Dunlap and also the Seattle Seahawks pass rush. You talk about a guy that, the last 2018, 2019, if he's a guy that can have 45-plus pressures in a season, he had 51, I think, in 2019. Man, that could be a great shot in the arm for the Seattle defense, especially what they gave up for him. So I think that it was definitely worth it. I think Pete Carroll, great move over there. And Carlos Dunlap, because I practiced against him every day, right? I ran the scout team, and every day I'd try to get him to jump off sides. Number one, to piss Mike Zimmer off. Mike Zimmer was the defense coordinator at the time. So, always trying to get Zimmer even more and more mad, but also to work those guys. But Carlos Dunlap, his length, his arm reach, the number of batted balls he can get after, he's honestly a tremendous athlete. So really, I think this is a good shot in the arm for not only Carlos Dunlap, but what he'll bring, I think, to that Seattle defense.
You know as well as I do that the Seahawks had been talking about maybe adding Antonio Brown, who he's the more talented player, but I would argue that adding Carlos Dunlap is a bigger need, because the need isn't offense, it's defense. So I think this is the better get, actually, for the Seahawks. What do you say about that?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Russell Wilson, yes, he would want another weapon. But look, 23 big-time throws for us this year. He's our number one graded passer, 93.2, and only 4 turnover-worthy plays. So Russell Wilson's playing out of his mind. He's really doing a good job. So you're right. If they need anything, it's on that defensive side of the ball. If Carlos Dunlap can come over, bring some pressures on that quarterback, create some turnovers, because I've been in that stadium when he's had a pick six or a scoop and score for a touchdown, and all of a sudden we won the game. And I'm looking around like, how did that just happen? So Carlos Dunlap does bring some good stuff to the table. So I absolutely think this was more of a need. But look, if you could have signed AB, I think it would have helped that offense. But I think they have some good things going on right now with DK Metcalf and Russell Wilson that don't even mess with it. And I think this will be the best thing for them.
He's Bruce Gradkowski from Pro Football Focus here on the Brian Noe Show. I have to ask how you think AB is going to fare in Tampa Bay. Do you see this working out?
So the reason I think it can work out is because he played with Bruce Arians before, so he's been in that system. He played with Byron Leftwich. You have to remember, offense coordinator Byron Leftwich was a quarterback backing up Big Ben with the Steelers. So he's played with him, and then he also played with Brady for a little bit. So 3 major components of that offensive structure that AB has familiarity with. So I think that is the reason it can work. And also, man, AB's been out a long time from football. In football, in the football terms, in football world, it's been a long time. So I think he's hungry, motivated, and he has to stay on the straight and narrow. And if he does, man, I think this could be a great team for both sides, for AB and Tampa Bay.
I want to get your thoughts on a quarterback here. Tua Tagovailoa, right? First start for the Dolphins against the Rams this weekend. What do you expect from Tua? Not just his skill set, but what he has to work with, who his opponents will be. What do you expect this rookie season from Tua?
Well, I like Tua coming out. I thought he had some quick twitch to him. He can make plays. Of course, we saw him making all those plays at Alabama. But it's going to take some adjustment. And I think the Dolphins were at a point where, the last game I graded Fitzpatrick's game for us at PFF, and I'm thinking to myself, man, too many turnover-worthy plays. He's just forcing the ball in there too much. Take care of the football. And I think the Dolphins are thinking, look, maybe he brings a little bit more athletically and can make plays, because we're seeing that all over the NFL now. And maybe he'll protect the ball a little bit more. And let's take our chances, because defensively we're playing well. He is our future, so why not get him in there now when the team is kind of on a little roll? And maybe he'll just be another shot in the arm for him and play pretty good.
By the way, I've got to get your thoughts on this. I hate his face mask. Have you seen it? Where he's got, remember the old school Deion Sanders where he's got the vertical bars kind of right where his eyes are? You shouldn't be wearing that as a quarterback. Am I crazy here?
You're not crazy, but we all loved that face mask growing up. I mean, we wanted to be Emmitt Smith in the background taking handoffs. Yeah. And, I wanted that face mask too, but my dad made me wear the Dan Marino one that went down to your chest, the real long one. And then when I got to Toledo, or I think it was in high school before I got to Toledo, I went with a little cooler mask, like the Drew Brees one, the Donovan McNabb. That's where I got it from, Donovan McNabb in Syracuse, with the thicker, bottom, a little longer, and then the 2 bars up top. Mm-hmm. Look, it hurt my vision at times, but I'd rather look the part than worry about if I could see an extra safety come down in the box or not.
You go more by the look instead of eyesight, huh?
Maybe that's what Tua's going for. He's like, look, that bar gets in the way a little bit, but I think I could, do with it in the way. I'll make it work. So
yeah, he's styling with that thing. Yeah, I'm for go visor. Get rid of the bars, go visor. I want you to see the field, man.
The visor would be sweet. I wish I could pull that off, but I think it would trip me out a little bit. Seeing up top when you're looking straight and then looking down at the ground, it's 2 different colors. I wouldn't be able to do that.
Not a fan. I got you. How about Trevor Lawrence, the Clemson quarterback? He said yesterday, he's like, yeah, maybe I come back to Clemson. What do you think about the possibility of him remaining in college instead of going to the pros?
I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, he has to come out. And I know there's some concern there. But I'll tell you what, man, he is a phenomenal player. I just got done grading his games, Justin Fields. And I'll tell you what, Trevor Lawrence is just so naturally gifted, right? He's a natural athlete. He's a natural passer. His body, his feet, and his arm work is one, just very fluid. Arm strength, no issue at all. He can extend plays, throw on the run. I mean, he really can do it all. He's fun to watch. And now it's just honing his skills and just kind of bringing him back to reality at times when he tries to force, too many passes in there and try to do too much. And I think this year he's been very efficient in a sense that he's making the right decisions. Last year, I think he kind of forced the issue at times and tried to do too much. And this year, I think he's doing the opposite. At times you do see him kind of forcing it in there, but I think overall he's just playing well. And I just can't get over his feet, his arm. He's ready to go now, and these teams are going to be drooling at him when they see him, continued on this year and after with his pro day and combine and all that stuff.
I got to ask you about the Cowboys because they're a grease fire right now, but there could be a silver lining because as it stands right now, they've got a top 10 pick. They might end up with a top 10 pick. And we didn't think they would be that high in the draft. As it relates to Dak Prescott, would you start to get tempted where you're in the range of drafting a Trey Lance? You might not have to move up that high to get a Justin Fields. Do you start to get tempted to not give Dak Prescott this huge mammoth deal where you back up the Brinks truck and you go up and get a younger, cheaper rookie? What do you say to that?
Well, hey, Jerry Jones, don't put anything past him. And I think you deal with that when that time comes. But I think it's proven it now of what Dak brings to that team. Right now, that team is lacking fire, lacking passion, lacking guys that just get after it and that are leaders on the field. I mean, it's not the coaching staff. It's take responsibility on the field. Yes, Mike McCarthy can help. Those coaches can help better game plan and scheme better. But at the end of the day, man, you need some warriors out there. And I'm just not seeing it from the Cowboys. And I mean, you could say, oh, they didn't have Andy Dalton's back when he took that hit. That's That's not the issue. I mean, you have young rookie linemen in there that honestly, to be honest, they don't know how to act in those situations. They're not sure if they're going to get benched if they go after the defense for that hit on Andy Dalton. They're unsure how to react in those situations. And also that hit on Andy, man, that was scary. So I think your first thought is like, man, oh my gosh, is he okay? He's not moving. You know, he was knocked unconscious. So you're more kind of worried about your teammate than kind of trying to fight the defense. But that just brings me to my point, man. I'm just not seeing passion out there on the field. And they have to figure out a way to get it out of them and play better. And I just think inside that locker room, you got to take responsibility. But back to your point, I think it just shows a lot that, man, Dak was that fire, you know, and now that he's out and injured, that's what they're lacking. So I would, if I was Jerry, I'd try my best to make something work with Dak for the long term. But if you are in that position high up in the draft, you never know. You have to look at all options because the quarterback position is the most important position on the field.
If you got smoked like that and you're still in the league and your teammates didn't have your back at all, what would be your reaction to that?
Well, you know, like I said, I think a lot of those guys are young rookies filling in up front for the offense line, all the injuries. So initially, I don't take it as they're not sticking up for Andy. I just think it was they're unsure how to act in those situations, you know. Now, on the other side, too, it is, man. You know, I played with Andrew Whitworth, Marquise Pouncey, Ramon Foster. Those guys wouldn't have it. I mean, you touch their quarterback. I don't care if it's a third, fourth, fifth string quarterback. If you hit him that way, those dudes are going after you. And that's where it just comes back to that fire and that passion and that tenacity to play with. And we're just not seeing it from the Cowboys right now.
I have to ask you, if you're speaking about fire and passion, tenacity, all that stuff, one of your former head coaches was John Gruden. Do you have a good Gruden story where you're like, this guy he's passionate, but he's borderline psychotic?
You know what? He is, man. But I love him. I learned so much from him. He's a great teacher of the game. But I remember it was my rookie year, and I would be up till like 2, 3 in the morning just trying to memorize the script for practice the next day because I didn't want to get in the huddle with Mike Allstott, Joey Galloway, Anthony Beck, all these veterans, and stumble over my words. And this one play that just kind of is still ingrained in my brain, I honestly, I can't forget it because of how hard I try to memorize it, was Indy right 10, X short, fake 96 power king, naked left X slide. It was just something I had to practice, over and over because one time I called a play reverse in the huddle and I'm walking the line of scrimmage and I'd turn back to let Mike Allstott know the correct play. And as I told him the correct play, he grabs my face mask. He's like, get it right. Which one is it? And I was like, oh, shoot. So those veterans hold you accountable, man. And that's kind of what you need. But I think Gruden's a good coach. I think Carr's playing well. It's just, look, they got to get over the hump as far as just being mediocre and taking that next step. So I do think Gruden's a good coach, great offensive mind, and a great teacher. So I learned a lot from him.
How, just to put it in perspective for, dudes that haven't been in the NFL, what is that climb from just the mental side of college to the terminology, the mental side in the NFL?
That's the biggest difference, right? From college to the NFL, it's anything, honestly, from high school to college to the NFL, it's number one, it's the speed of the game. And number two is mentally. Look, I wasn't the most gifted quarterback to ever play the game in high school or at Toledo. But, I took advantage of my opportunities. I understood my offense. I took care of the things I could control, knowing where you're supposed to go with the ball and handling the mental side of it. And also just being mentally tough. You're going to face adversity, whatever you go through. And honestly, this is on the football field, off the football field, in the business world, whatever you do in life, you're going to face adversity. And it's more important of how you deal with it and overcome it because it's tough in the moment, but you can get past it. And I faced it too many times, and it just helped me throughout my career. So I think the main thing, too, is when you get to the NFL, it's the speed of the game. These young quarterbacks, you don't realize how fast that pocket collapses on you. It's at times Justin Herbert's playing really well, but you'll see him drift back in the pocket. He's scared to step up in the middle of the pocket. Kyler Murray, same thing, step up in the middle of the pocket. it's scary to do that because, number one, if you're Kyler Murray, you lose vision. I lost vision a lot of times being a smaller quarterback. So to trust your line to step up, but honestly, when you step up, those windows come. Your offensive line's blocking. There are windows to make throws. It's just surprising, though, the speed of the game, how fast that pocket collapses on you, how fast the defense moves. And then you're also not only supposed to know your own offense, but you're supposed to make decisions post-snap, depending on what the defense did, how you're protected. Do you throw hot? Do you change the protection? All that. So a lot on these young quarterbacks' plates, and that's why it's impressive when you see these young guys start off playing well.
I got to ask a brief follow-up because Justin Herbert, he's played really well so far. And Joe Burrow has too, all things considered. As a young player especially, what's the scariest thing? Like you're mentioning getting the play right with the veterans on your team or losing sight of, the defenders coming at you, getting smacked by someone who's almost twice your size. What's the scariest thing, especially for a young QB?
Honestly, it's probably letting your teammates down. I was so anxious not to F it up. I'm like, man, I can't mess this up. Joey Galloway's counting on me. Mike Allstott's counting on me. And then when you do miss a throw, you feel like it's the end of the world. And I wish in a moment I could go back in time to my rookie year and get that time back where I can not be so hard on myself and understand, man, I bring a lot to the game. I'm athletic. I'm smart. I know what to do. But then you start overthinking things. So as a young player, you start overthinking things, and then you try to see too much. Baker Mayfield, we saw it a few weeks ago against the Steelers. A simple concept, right? You just read the rotation. If it's too high, you work the right. If it's single high, you work the left or vice versa. And he just kind of messed that play up a little bit because you're trying to be perfect. You're trying to do too much. At times, honestly, I believe it's better to be decisive than right. Now, of course, I'm saying that because I trust we prepared you going into this game. So when you play, just play decisive. Let it loose. Just sling it, and we'll correct the mistakes the next day. I don't want you overthinking things. I want you to have fun out there. And a lot of times as young quarterbacks, they try to see too much. They try to do too much and play perfect, when all you have to do is just try to execute the offense, and those big plays will come.
I love that. Bruce, it's a treat catching up with you, man. If I want a similar background, where do I have to go? Is this Office Max? Is it Home Depot? What do we have here?
It's my boys right here in Toledo, CGS Imaging. They kind of hooked it up. It's kind of like, man, I need a nice setup here. And I'll show you this one. Look, we got the Skyline of Toledo right in the background.
Ooh, look at that. I like it. That looks good, man.
I just switch it up here. Next time, if you want me to have the city in the background, I could do that for you as well.
I love it, dude. All right, man. Hey, Bruce, have a good day. Again, thanks for the time. It was always it's always good picking your football brain, man. So I had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thanks, brother. Have a good week.
All right, you too. There he is, Bruce Gradkowski, NFL analyst for Pro Football Focus here on the show.